Today we are going to start with topic of build a team, which is task number 6 of ECO. And because we have been doing people domain, and in this domain, it's all about lead the team, build a team, motivate the team, understand the team, educate the stakeholders, including the internal and external both. So this topic is also related to the same domain, appraise stakeholder skills, deduce project resource requirement as per the project requirement, not more, not less. Continuously assess and refresh team skills to meet project needs. So we need to find out where to provide training, where to provide coaching, and where to provide mentoring. So based upon that, we'll be answering the questions. And this you need to remember it while you're answering the question. These tasks, maintain team knowledge and make sure that it's transferred from lesson learned register to lesson learned repository. So based upon that, we have our first question that you are assigned to a regulated healthcare project, delivering hybrid solutions. Delivering hybrid solutions, the sponsor insists that delivery must start immediately using existing internal staff, but early analysis shows gap in clinical workflows, expertise, and validation documentation experience. Customers, as always, wants to rush, but we have the problem of requirements differentiation. The organization has a strict procurement lead time. So organization is strict for their OPA and internal EEF. What should a project manager do next to build the team effectively? Initiate a skill gap assessment and propose a phased onboarding plan using internal staff plus targeting external subject matter experts. Seems to be better answer, but let's go next. Proceed with the existing team and address skill issues if defect occurs. So you are waiting for the reactive approach. While what we have learned throughout the project management is you have to be a proactive project manager. Delay the project. You are no one to decide to delay the project. Ask the sponsor to authorize overtime. You don't see anything in the question related to overtime. So the only option which is left is actually A, initiate a skill gap assessment. That's how you have to answer the question. Yes, Ms. Powell, you want to say something, you can mute your mic. Unmute your mic and speak.
Yes. So I can't. The chat is disabled for me,
Sorry.
so I can't
Okay,
answer. Thank
no
you.
problem. I've enabled the chat, so now you guys can answer. Perfect. So yeah, we have understood that how to answer this question. Let's move to the next. And you can enter your answers in the main window instead of answering individually here. Let's go for the next question. A senior stakeholder has high influence and insists on being the decision owner for requirements. During workshops, they dominate discussions but demonstrate limited understanding of downstream impacts. So they want to go only for their opinion without thinking about other stakeholders. And because of that, other people are demotivated and they stopped contributing. So they have a sense of exclusion now. What should the PM do to build an effective stakeholder team? Remove the stakeholders from workshop, assign the stakeholders as product owner and accept the structure, redesign engagement, clarify rules, use structured facilitation, and bring in additional SMEs to balance decision quality, escalate to sponsor and request a replacement stakeholder. So this we don't agree, right? We cannot do this without change request. When the person is not working with stakeholders, even if we make them product owner, they will destroy everything. So we already have the problems. So in the remaining options, only one or the best available is actually C, that we need to understand the influence of the stakeholders, but still we need to do what is right. It's not about we just take the influence. Great. Let's go next. Your schedule is aggressive and requires parallel development streams. Current team capacity supports only one stream. The sponsor refuses additional headcount. So you have budget constraints and resource constraints. You identify that the resource bottleneck is integration test, where you will face problem. What should the PM do to build a team and meet delivery needs? So you are already constrained with the resources and project. Let's go next. Reduce the scope to match current capacity without informing stakeholders. This answer will never be the correct answer because as a project manager, we don't have authority to reduce the scope or add the scope by ourselves. So this is out of the league. Negotiate a resourcing strategy by shifting budgets from low value features into short term integration test supports. Maybe add more developers and assume testing will catch up later. Adding is not allowed because the sponsor does not want it. Extend the timeline and rebaseline without. So we know that this is the violation of change control also. Although this question belongs to people domain, but in this option, process is not being followed. So you are being checked for all the knowledge you have learned related to the people, process, and business environment. So yes, all of your answers are correct. B is the only better choice available in these options. Very good. Let's go next. Midway through execution, your organization mandates a new CI/CD tool. Only one team member has experience with it. The team is at risk of slowed delivery and quality issues. So only one person knows about it, none about the others. What is the best course of action for you as PM? Immediately pause development until the entire team is trained. You will never have that privilege in your projects. Establish a short learning plan with pairing and job aids and adjust sprint commitments while capability ramps up. Seems to be better answer. Ignore. We don't ignore the changes, right? So A and D are out of the league. And asking someone does not ensure that that work will be done. So we need to answer the questions which are providing better responses. So better response is C. Establish a short learning plan with pairing and job aids and adjust sprint commitments while capability ramps up. So what I've been observing that your mindset is getting better and better from the first day until now, which is a good news that you are in the shape of answering the questions if you have the elimination technique with you, like what we are doing. So a key architect announces resignation in 3 weeks. They own most solution knowledge. So as per the project management framework or PMI standard, no team member can leave the team or project until they provide the lesson learned to project manager, and it's primarily project manager responsibility to do this. He or she cannot let anyone go without providing the lesson learned. And then for sure to do that, you have to provide a process or get a mechanism to ensure that it happens. Imagine you are working on an enterprise project where there are 3,000, 5,000 employees, there are 100 plus engineers, 50 plus testers. So how can you ensure? You cannot go to one to them. So you need to ensure the process that things will get done without even your participation also, even if you are not included, although it's your primary responsibility. So negotiate immediate knowledge transfer, documentation, recorded walkthroughs, peer design sessions, and transition plans. Seems to be better answer, but let's go next. Escalate to HR and pause critical work. We cannot pause the work. Ask the architect to postpone resignation. Resignations are about the deadlines. If they have their own terms and conditions, they have their own privileges, and they have their own commitments. So no one will stop. Proceed as is and plan to rebuild knowledge later. This is the violation again, or this is against our understanding. So yes, all of you are correct again. That A is the correct answer. Negotiate immediate knowledge transfer. So you should not ignore it. Instead, you should take proactive action from the front. Very good. Let's go next. Your project includes a new operational process. Operation stakeholders will own it after handover. During readiness reviews, operations cannot explain escalation paths, SLAs, or controls. They approve deliverables anyway to avoid delays. So you have a problem. What is the problem in the question? That you included a process and operation people do not know what is it. But just to help you out or to achieve the deadlines, they are agreed to accept. But still, it's not like you will give them something and they will not be able to use it. You need to ensure that whatever you are doing, it's agreed and accepted and meets the expectation of the stakeholders. So what is the best action? Continue delivery since approval was granted. So it's like ignoring. Delay release until operations can demonstrate readiness and implement targeted enablements. And acceptance criteria tied to operational capability. Seems to be better answered, but let's go next. Transfer ownership immediately and let operation learn. Yesterday, I just in sarcasm, I said like this that you guys cannot prepare naturally. It was not to hurt you guys, but just to guide you that look, if I leave you alone and if I don't do these question solving sessions and if I don't do these type of motivation things, then you will never be able to appear in exam. So you cannot let the stakeholders, they will take it from you, they'll put it on the drawer or they'll put it on the table or shelf and that's it. Then you did something which is useless. Replace operation stakeholders. You are no one to, they can replace you, but you cannot replace them. And it's not your authority. It's OPM who will decide. So yes, the best available option here is B. Delay release until operations can demonstrate readiness. When you are going to make transition, so it means you did not collect the transition requirement, or there was a transition requirement because of that. If it was not fulfilled, so you have to fulfill the transition requirement before making the transition. Very good. Next, your team is distributed across 2 departments. Functional managers assign the best people part-time. Your plan requires a stable allocation for critical work, but functional managers refuse to commit due to competing priorities. You are working in weak matrix or balanced matrix or a strong matrix structure. First answer this, then we'll find the question. Which structure you are working in? Weak matrix, balanced matrix, or a strong matrix? Functional manager is taking the control. It means you are working in weak matrix. Very good. What should the PM do next? Use the charter and prioritize negotiations to secure minimum stable allocation for critical roles, escalating only if agreement fails. Seems to be better answer, but let's go next. Accept part-time assignments and extend the schedule. This is not acceptable. Maybe I could take the other part that if it is accompanied by change control, but this word is not good. You cannot do this. You are already working in an authority of a functional manager and you're reporting to them, or they have more powers than you. Assign task only when people become available. It means you will never have the deadline meet. So yes, all of you are correct. That A is the correct answer. We need to use what negotiation skills. So yesterday I said the same thing. Instead of having the direct actions, we need to negotiate, evaluate, analyze. This is our first priority. If it is done, then second thing will be based upon question itself. Very good. Next, a senior team member rejects cross-training, claiming it reduces productivity. There are mindsets in the people who think training is not a good thing. They are currently the fastest contributor and the schedule is tight. However, dependency risk is increasing. What should you do? So, the people who are the fastest one, we need to train them, and your senior manager is saying that please no, they are the only one. If you will put them in the training, then we are already on the stake of schedule delays. Enforce cross training immediately and reassign work regardless of impact. This word will never be the correct answer, right? Regardless. We work with the stakeholders, we cannot do regardless. And this is never allowed. Remove the senior member So you can directly reach to the right answer by eliminating the wrong choices. Implement, even you don't know. So this was the technique. You can even use it without reading the question also, like which I've been training you sometimes, that if I remove the question and if you read these options, the only possible option here is C, which could be a better choice. So yes, implement incremental knowledge transfer using pairing. And pairing is the best technique when you are working with multiple people. So yeah, let them pair. Instead of wasting everyone, do the work in pairing. So we will have the elicitation and facilitation together. Great. Next, during planning, stakeholders request a feature that contradicts compliance requirement. They claim the regulator will be fine with it. It's not about individual claim. When it comes to regulation, it is regulation and we have to follow. Your compliance SMEs disagree, but is junior and hesitant. It's not about junior and senior, it's about truth, right? This is what our PMI code of conduct, that we have to be honest and we have to maintain honesty throughout the project. What should the PM do to build the right stakeholder decision team? Prioritize stakeholder request because they own business outcome. So you are putting yourself for influence, which is not a good idea. Facilitate a decision forum where compliance requirement, risk impact, and acceptance constraints are formally reviewed before committing. Seems to be better answer. Remove the SME. Commit to the feature and compliance later. No, compliance is low impact, low priority, low probability, but very high impact. We cannot ignore it because impact is very high. Maybe it will stop your project. So yes, only available option which is here is actually B. Very good. I'm feeling better also because I can see almost maybe all of you are putting the correct answers in the chat window, which is a good sign that whatever efforts I'm putting in, you guys are drawing the results, which is amazing. Thank you. Next, your program runs multiple similar projects over 18 months. Team rotate frequently. You notice repeated mistakes across projects. Repeated mistakes means your process is not properly defined. That's why mistakes are happening and there is no quality assurance is there. Indicating knowledge is not being retained. So look, it's all related to assurance. What should the PM do to maintain team knowledge transfer effectively? We have to establish the processes so things should be done. If we fix the process right, things will be easier to deliver. If we don't fix the process, we will always have these blockheads always coming on our way. So before starting the work, finish those impediments, obstacles, blockers, so you can streamline the things. And whenever you're doing the project management, think of a project which is happening in multiple countries with a $1 billion investment with many of the stakeholders of different nationalities, different countries, different time zones. So your decision will impact so many stakeholders. Then you can answer it best. Don't think for the smaller projects or fewer projects. So create and maintain a knowledge repository, lesson learned, templates, playbooks, and integrate it into onboarding and project governance checkpoints. Seems to be a better answer. Ask each team to communicate better, and asking someone will not bring the results. You will keep asking and they will not do because there is no benefit. Like if you remember in communication method, basic communication method, there is a sender, there is a receiver. Receiver has to acknowledge and sender has to collect feedback. So what is happening? You are just sending. Receiver is not acknowledging. Similarly, you are not collecting the feedback. So communication is not getting complete. Store lesson learned only at the project closure? No, we already know that there is a lesson learned register as per the PMI standard where we have a process in integration, manage project knowledge. So during the project, we will have the knowledge register, lesson learned register, and then it will be uploaded to the lesson learned repository once the project close. So this is against the standard again. Assign knowledge transferred solely to HR. You are leading the project, you cannot delegate it. So knowledge transfer, stakeholders, communications, engagements, these are 100% your tasks. They can't be delegated. So yes, correct answer which is available here is actually A. Who will assist PM in doing these things? Or who can assist PM in doing these things? Who is actually responsible for these things? Which department? Can you put it in the chat window, please? Exactly. This is actually that's why I actually made the bracket, because as per the question, yeah, this is the only available option. But this is actually the task of PMO, not me as a project manager. I can ask PMO to do that. I can advise it. Because PMO have three types of role, right? Supportive, controlling, and directive. And PMO is what? It provides enterprise-wide governance to all the projects, programs, and portfolios inside the organization, integrated from OPM, organization project management. So they are there for these tasks. I will not do it if PMO is there. If PMO is not there, then yes, I have to do it to make my life easier. Perfect. That was a very good end of the questions, which is from the task 6. Thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you in the next one, which is for the task 7.